YouTube, what's good? No, I want to do one of the ones of like I want to do one of the funny. Oh, I didn't see you there. That'd be funny. I like that. That shit's kind of funny. Corny shit like that's pretty funny. How's it going? It's me, it's Bobby Montana. It's good to talk to you. Finally, I haven't had a chat in a little while. I feel like I'm back in the same outfit. Don't worry, I do own a washer and dryer. What are we doing today? We're doing the same thing we do every day. We're gonna work, baby. This time we're stationary. We're already here. Updates. I effed my paws up really bad, and I'm actually in a lot of pain. I feel like Vegeta when he's like fighting everybody, and every time he gets into a fight, his enemies immediately target his weak spot and cripple his left arm. I feel like I'm walking around like holy. It's crazy, dude. They're like 3rd-degree burns on my knuckles, and it's like I don't know. It's like, you know the thing, you move your hand around and you can see the little thing? It's like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I effed it up real bad. Yesterday was tough. That's all right. Got home, got some good sleep about it. Now we're back here at work and we're going to do the same thing again all day. And why are we going to do that? Because we like to eat. We like electricity. We like Wi-Fi. We like our first world comforts, don't we? I don't really know what I want to talk about today. I'm just going to throw some talking points out there. First of all, I'm kind of having like a little mini arc. Not me, I'm watching a couple of mini arcs, I guess. I'm observing a couple of mini arcs in real time while I sleepwalk through a living nightmare. I get to watch a bunch of, I don't know, hopefully schizophrenic amalgamations of people that don't exist prance around on the internet through a phone screen. Which brings me to my point. Joe Rogan. Theo Von was on Joe Rogan's podcast a few days ago tweaking out. I felt bad for the kid. And now here's the thing. With Theo Von, I've always had like this weird perception of him. Like at first, I thought he was fun. I thought he was good. And then I thought I was like watching him sync with them a little bit. Like he seemed comfortable singing. I don't know if that makes sense. Again, I don't know the dude. I'm just going off of like a bunch of bullshit random clips and stuff I see on the internet. But what I'm trying to say is, originally, I kind of liked Theo Von, and then I kind of sorted to move away. But you know how these things go. You get focused on other things too, and life happens. Lots of things like that. It was a lead chip, a lead paint chip. That's what it was. It was for my snacks from earlier. But I was watching him crash out on Joe Rogan recently. I felt bad for the kid because you can tell, you can hear the innocence in his voice, and I kind of understand. I relate with him a lot, even though I'm like half his age technically, right? Kind of a late start. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Sort of like I had really old school parents and stuff. So like there's a part of me that really connects with Theo Von, absolutely 100%. I felt kind of bad for him watching him crash out on Joe Rogan, like, when do you think Israel's gonna kill us and all this and stuff. And Joe's just like, shh, I'm warning you. Joe's just like, what are you saying? Joe's like, they're listening. Joe's literally like, hey, they're listening. Stop it, or I'll have to get you punished. And it's like, bro, it's fucking weird. It's weird and psychopathic. You hate to see it. Especially a good person like Theo wrapped up in all of it, but walking away from that, right? This was probably like earlier this week, and then today I'm waking up in the morning, I'm getting ready to go to work. I'm throwing on some like background slop while I'm putzing around the house in the morning, and I watch a Theo interview with Kevin Gates. Let me not lie. I watched like a clip, a section of the interview with Kevin Gates. That was really good. I liked a lot. There was good talking points. Kevin seemed really receptive. Theo Von was really welcoming. They had good energy off of each other, absolutely. Maybe it's because they're both from Louisiana, I don't know. Both cool dudes. That's what it is. So it boils down to just both cool dudes being bros. Boys being homies. Boys being dogs. You know what I mean? They had a really good conversation about some stuff that I actually kind of needed to hear lately because I'm, just like everybody else. Nothing special, right? I'm struggling severely, of course, just like everybody else. It doesn't make me any special. I was listening to a few of their bullet points that I agreed with a lot. They had really good talking points. The conversation flowed really well. I need to go back and watch that whole episode. It's good to see Theo, he seems like he's calming down a little bit over the course of a couple days. I don't know what he did or what's happening, or maybe he's got somebody in his corner. Hopefully, of course. Hopefully everybody's got somebody in their corner, right? Not everybody can be a cowboy like me. You know what I mean? Hopefully those of you out there, praying for you, of course. Pray for yourself. Show love, kindness, care, compassion to the people in your corner. Always appreciate them. Forgive them for their shortcomings and misgivings and flaws. Especially the family amongst us, our families in our lives. They deserve it. They deserve us. They deserve our patience. They deserve our attention. Which, by the way, hey, thanks, man. Hey, look, listen. Thank you, whoever you are. Thank you, listener. Thank you, viewer, for spending your time with me for a sec. Wasting 10, 15 minutes listening to me yammer on about nonsense. And, hopefully, I'm sure, hopefully this feels like, just a little reminder to you, you know what I mean? While you're making your way. You're not alone, buddy. You know what I mean? Look through the little internet window into my life and remember, you're not alone. I promise you. You're doing fine. A little reassurance. You know what I mean? Here's the thing, right? Here's my niche, my lane, right? I was watching another YouTube video earlier about Point and Shoot. Go check it out. The Sheriff. Love him. Talking about Poetic Minyango Jala. Frederick Jala is my real name. That shit kills me every time. He was selling some bullshit book about how to be a fucking YouTuber. Fuck that. You know what I mean? How to get... I'm just trying to get 10,000 subscribers, and from there, many 100,000. Yeah, get the fuck out of my face with that nonsense. I'd rather buy a fake chain for $100. And wear it around and get made fun of than to buy your stupid How to Get 10,000 Subs book and then have to live with the fact that I made that decision. Anyways, he was talking about niches and lanes and sectors of YouTube. And I was thinking to myself, do I have a sector? No. It was a solid no from me. I don't think I fit into a sector anywhere. Except for those dudes and bros that I think are really cool. That's just this is why I got this little car mount, is because I have a setup at the crib. I got soundproofing. That was bullshit to build. I just don't have it set up in the way that I want it to be set up yet. You know what I mean? So it's not really comfortable for me to film in there. It's weird. And it feels like a whole thing. I just don't like it. But to make this something more accessible to me, right? Sometimes you gotta bring the moon to you. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Sometimes instead of shooting for the stars or aiming for the moon, shooting for the stars, rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Whoa, baby. Sometimes you gotta bring the moon to you. You know what I mean? And instead of going and looking at the moon, how about you bring? No, I want that. Come here. Bring it. Hey, come here. Bring me that. And that's look. Here you are, right in front of me. What do you know? Just goes to show, some stupid fucking book, how to get 10,000 subscribers, is bullshit. But that was his sector or whatever, was grifters, basically. My sector, I guess, is those cool dudes and bros that do, because it shows up in my feed, so I figured they get views. They're crushing it out there. Respect Rasta. Dudes that are just doing this, filming some shit in their car real quick, talking about a little bit of nonsense, telling you what's up, telling you how their day's going, hanging out with you. You know, we're just slopping together, just hanging out, doing slop together. My niche is something, I guess. I just want, if I had to paint a picture, my niche is I feel because I consume a lot of slop while I'm eating, while I'm doing whatever, is background noise, because my life is painfully quiet and dull sometimes. So I turn on my little YouTube slop to make it not all feel so alone and it's all burning down and terrible. It's terrible. Frankly, it's terrible, probably. I like to think that my only issue is a lot of my positivity comes from of course I do have friends and family that I cherish and value, and that's where I look towards in times of struggle. My peoples, of course, as I encourage you to. Not everybody has that though. You understand? I've been in periods in my life where I felt like I didn't have that. I was convincing myself I didn't have that. Whatever, what have you. And it was a point of introspection. Maybe turn this around and think about that to yourself. I never really had, slop is fine and it makes me laugh or whatever, but like a lot lately is like overwhelmingly negative. It's terrible. And it's like, dude, I don't turn on slop to be reminded how shitty everything is. I can go to work and clock in and I can figure out, I think I can piece together how shitty everything is. I can go to the grocery store and swipe my fucking card for too much money on groceries for the week. And I think I can figure out how foobar everything is. I'm not trying to get on and watch my slop and listen to them talk about how Pokemon's an asshole and everybody's a slut and Cardi B's pregnant with 4 dudes' babies, or some dude is pregnant, or some dude got Cardi B pregnant with his baby and 4 other bitches. I don't know. And I'm trying to hear how fucking, hey man, you broke. Say man, you broke. You this, that, and the third. If you're not doing this, that, or whatever, you're fucking up. Oh, you gotta, and then there's the rich people that are like, you gotta grind, and the finance bros that are like, oh, you gotta invest, dude, blue chip stocks, bro, that's where it's at. Now, how about, like, I can't make it any, like, more plainly clear than this. How about, I have a fucking job, like, you know, in the comments, unemployed gang, yo, first of all, I rock with y'all, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I'm telling you right now, there's a point to being unemployed, okay? There's a purpose behind it. Being unemployed, and like, being unemployed is kind of like real life college. Does that make sense? Being unemployed is a school of hard knocks. There you go. Boom. Does that make fucking sense? Being unemployed is the school of hard knocks. While you're unemployed, you're supposed to go apply to a fucking Target or some fucking video store. Or you're supposed to go bag groceries. You're supposed to, like, that's what, you're missing the point. Being unemployed isn't supposed to mean not having a job. Being unemployed means being unengaged with society at a certain level and degree. You understand? Disengaged from, like, functional levels of society. And if you're unemployed by that brain rot definition, you literally have no fucking job. And it's like, I got no job, I'm unemployed. That's not good. I get that the social contract is broken right now, and like nobody's getting paid enough and everybody's working too much. But these are kind of like, that's like the grease of business, baby. You understand? Shit's not always gonna look pretty. You understand? It's just not. That's the point. It's gotta start out ugly. And then you gotta chip away at something and make it in a, you know, that's what being an artist is. Taking something fucking ugly, taking some ugly ass bullshit and then making it into, transmuting that into something else. Because you know what they say, a bag of shit that gets bigger is just a bigger bag of shit. So you don't want to just make that even worse on yourself. Like, go check out, go to the mall, dude. Sell fucking jeans at Abercrombie or something. Who cares? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Work on find something technical to do. And of course I preach that. I sound like an asshole, I feel like, because like I found something technical that I like. But even before that, I was broke. I just quit my dumb teenager job after doing a bunch of random bullshit. And then I was like, you know what? I want to learn how to cook. Fuck it. I show up at a restaurant and I'm like, hey, I have no experience cooking. I'll wash dishes if you want. I don't care. I just want to, and I stood over people's shoulders like, hey, what's this, what's that, what's this, what's that? And I practiced and I learned and I got better and I got really good. That applies to everything. It applies to everything. Just want to do something. Maybe it's not about what you want at first, just want to do something. Does that make sense? It's not always about what you want to do. It's about wanting to do something. You gotta, and of course, like, hey, sometimes you need that time to yourself. You need that introspection, those long moments. You need to spend time in that sunken place sometimes for that to happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit here and deny that. Sometimes you gotta spend time in that sunken place for you to even realize that wanting something is what you want. And so, I kind of get off on a tangent and I forgot my main point a little bit. Oh yeah, being unemployed, but like, being unemployed is fine. Unemployed gang, what's up? But I like have a job. I'm unemployed, we'll say that, because like my job just barely pays enough for like my shit. But like, you understand, being unemployed isn't going to pay for anything at all. And like, that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, would I rather have a job and maybe, okay, sure, the time I spend, but here's the thing, fuck the time I spend at the job and stuff. First of all, builds character, builds work ethic. It's good for you. It's good practice every day. Good people skills. Sure, I spend a lot of time at work, whatever. The point being is, at least I don't. I could spend a lot of time at work, or I could spend a lot of time in a cardboard box. I spend a lot of time at work, and I go home to four walls with heat, electricity, lights on, working in it. And I encourage people to start valuing those things again. The rap tie-in something. One of the talking points Theo Von was talking about was making authenticity cool again. Something about authenticity means hard work, character. You know what I mean? Putting in the labor it takes that is required to build something is authentic and real and honorable. And I agree with Theo on that. Those things are cool. And this is coming from a person who's, I've definitely gone the bad route. I've definitely done things I'm not proud of. But, we're on the right path now, baby. And ain't nothing gonna stop that. That's for sure. And I encourage you to be the same way. Be unstoppable. Do whatever it takes. Not in whatever it takes for you. That doesn't necessarily mean people preach this idea of do whatever it takes, and that means like squashing other people in your way. No, that's not it either. That's survival mode. Doing what it takes is being in. Well, you know what? You can be in survival mode and still draw the line at taking from or harming other people or inflicting pain onto other people. That's not, if anything, that's not a good use of your time, period. You could go the neutral way about it. You could go the gray method. Hurting somebody, really, honestly, if you don't want to think about it as a negative karmic thing, if you're doing what it takes, hurting somebody is more often than not just an inefficient use of your time. You could be spending that time helping yourself. And by helping yourself, I mean you just get up, put one foot in front of the other. And I know that sounds like vague and dumb, but this is a lot of these things in life don't have a set shade or hue or filter or whatever. That's going to look different for everybody. Getting up and putting one foot in front of the other is going to look different for everybody. Start with your health. Your mental. That's physical, mental, all that stuff. All that stuff. Okay, just take good care of yourself. Okay, look, listen. It's Bobby Montana. I'm glad we had this chat just to catch up with you real quick. Just a real brief reminder. Hang in there. This is the ugly part. Stay down in that sunken place until you find your way up. Okay? Take care of yourself, please. Thank you. I appreciate you coming by again. It's always good to chat. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what's up. I'm sure we'll talk again soon. Bye.